Yes.
All right, so let's hit our topic today.
Yes.
This is Marriage Monday. And today I want to talk about how to spice up your marriage. How to spice it up. How to
See the
make
grass
it
skirt, huh?
sizzling. How to make your marriage hot. How to make your marriage spicy. Because it's really easy. I mean, listen, let's just be real about it. Because you throw this on me ever so often. You know, we pick up the kids, we drop the kids off, or we drop the kids off, we pick up the kids, we take them to the marriage, we got to cook dinner, we go through, we have this show, we have various meetings. Our life is extremely packed. It's always a lot going on through the course of a day. And so, quite often, you'll respond and say to me, you know, nighttime will come or you know, time will come and you'll just be kind of like, Dad, I'm sleepy, I'm tired, and you know, you want to have some fun and affection. And a lot of times in marriage, there seems like there's time for everything else but the marriage.
Right.
And the truth is, the marriage is the important part of everything else. Your marriage is more important than your children in the aspect that your children actually grow from a strong marriage. You can't put all your time into your children and put none of your time into your marriage. You actually disable the children from being able to function because they believe the world is centered around them.
Right.
And you actually hurt your marriage because once they're gone, you don't know who you're with anymore. That person becomes a stranger. And you really have to enjoy your time with your mate. You have to enjoy that investment time with your mate. And so we want to just talk about how to spice up your marriage, how to have fun. First of all, maybe we should talk about the definition of terms, what spice means. Because I'm learning that
Not the kind of spices I cook with.
No, but you know, actually they could be utilized also. Yeah. But because men and women may feel like spice is different. And I'm learning there's a definition of terms. So as a male, let me tell you what I believe when I hear spice up, and you can share what you think. Okay. When I hear how to spice up a marriage, I mean how to make your marriage hot and sultry. Sultry. How to make it so that you know you are Mikaza and Eugene. You know what I'm saying to you? How to make that kind of scenario where there's a lot of passion in the house, where there's a lot of wanting to feel each other and hug each other and
he said to feel each other.
I'm saying, okay, however you want to put my hands by here, okay, however you deem to visit that, that's kind of, you know, that's a subject that I think is important. You know, you want to be in a marriage where you come home and your wife is just excited, or you meet her and there's some excitement in your house, and excitement between your marriage. You want to anticipate being in your mate's presence. And so when I think of spice it up, I think of fun and adventure and interest and excitement and times that it's just for the two of you to enjoy the moment. That's what I think about.
Absolutely.
So that's what I think about. What do you think about?
Feel on each other.
Well, hey. I can. So what do you think, baby?
You do a lot of that. I have to say, Daddy, Heathcliff Huxtable didn't feel on Claire Huxtable in front of the children.
Well, you didn't see what was going on.
Who are creeping around the house.
But you didn't listen.
So, Jeremiah, that's enough.
Goodbye, son.
That's enough.
But you didn't understand what was going on during commercials. That's what happened during commercials.
Oh, on the Cosby's.
That's exactly right. Why do you think they do so many commercials?
But the kids weren't on set.
I mean, you know, I'm sure they had to get themselves dressed and made up, but you know, Bill and anyway.
I mean, it's just the way.
So what do you think?
For women,
what do you think spicing it up is?
Spicing it up is women. We're connected to our emotions, as we've talked about on previous shows. We are connected to our emotions because we're very passionate. I know I'm a very passionate person. I'm passionate about the ideas that God gives me. I'm passionate about my marriage. I'm passionate about making sure that my children are raised in a godly home. I'm passionate about making sure that we are passionate about making sure they're raised in a godly home. We're very passionate about making sure that they are properly educated. And so you have to watch them because a lot of cars, for some reason, are coming through our neighborhood, unfamiliar cars. And the kids are outside. So, with all that being said, it's taking our attention. Sorry. With all that being said, Jeremiah, you're going to have to leave the room. You're going to have to leave the room. We want to make sure that you are caressing. I like that. Caressing our emotions during the day. If you're
your emotions caress. Oh, I didn't even know that part of the body needed it.
Yeah, see.
Okay.
You learned something after 16 years of marriage.
Caress the emotions.
Caress them. In other words, I'm not saying help us be emotional, but what I'm saying is text your wife and just say, babe, I love you.
Where's my
You left your cell phone.
I'm going to get my cell phone.
Sometimes Pastor Joe and I are, of course, in the same house, and we could be sitting next to each other in our easy chairs, and we'll text each other or email each other and just say, hey, how you doing? He's sitting right over there. And those are the kind of things, if you just sense in your spirit, husbands, that your wife could potentially be having a difficult day, pick up the phone and give her a call and say, you know what, I felt something in my spirit, and I just want to check on you. And I want you to know that the Word of God tells you it is well. Women love that kind of thing. And it helps you readjust your emotions because you've caressed them. And then we can refocus and get through the rest of our day. If you know that your wife is having overwhelming feelings with upkeep of the home, because a lot of women are working outside of the home and then come in the home and work. And you see she's overwhelmed with the duties of the house and making sure the kids' homework is done and dinner's on the table. And you see all that. Sometimes what my husband will do is say, you know what, babe? You don't have to do any of this. Go upstairs, get a nice hot bath, relax, read your book, and I'll take care of everything. That's caressing our emotions. Put your hands like this.
I like caressing the emotions. And hopefully that'll lead to other... Anyway,
Yes.
Okay. So now since we both kind of have very similar pieces. So what we want is, and it's not, it's kind of being cautious about being selfish, because when we talk about spicing it up, we want something to make us feel spiced. And
the men?
Well, I think both people.
Okay.
They both want what they want. And what I'm realizing is the first way to spice up a marriage is you got to be motivating your mate to want to spice you. Does that make sense to you?
That makes sense.
I think that's probably an issue in marriage we don't have is motivation.
Yeah.
Motivation. So part of my job is to motivate you to want to spice. Motivate you to want to make it sultry. Motivate you to want to make this thing interesting and intriguing and fun and exhilarating.
Right.
So now I'm going to talk. So you gave a way of how you can be motivated. You said through a text message, which I'm going to make sure I text you every day, as often as possible.
Okay.
You said sending you upstairs so you can go up and take care of yourself. And he cooks dinner, which I do.
And clean up.
I cook dinner.
And clean up.
I do cook dinner.
And clean up.
So long as we know I cook dinner, I'm doing part of my part, right?
Part of it doesn't help us emotionally.
But I do cook dinner, all right? So I cook dinner, and so I'm doing, I'm working toward the emotional caressing. Okay.
Okay.
So here's the next part. Jordan, go ahead and take care of what you got to take care of.
I was telling him to kind of, excuse us, to stay in because there's so many strange cars coming through. Okay. I couldn't really. Right. We were getting distracted.
I think he's on hot tip though. I think you got something hot, don't you? Yeah. Let him go. Let him go.
I need your brother to go with you. Go get your brother.
Okay.
No.
All right. But anyway, back.
Go get your brother.
Go ahead. Go get your brother. Tell him to go out with you.
Okay.
So listen. This is just where we are in our family. Okay. We just know that there are times we're going to have to kind of parent as well as, preach, I guess you want to call it, and know that the truth is the parenting part comes first. Absolutely. It's just what happens in the people's house, and I don't want to give you the impression that it's an easy process. Sometimes we got to juggle, the whole piece. So that's kind of what's happening here. So, but anyway, this whole thing about marriage is really interesting because what has to happen is to make this thing sultry for me and sultry for you is one of the principles that I think is really, really important. Number one, you got to scratch out the time.
Scratch it out.
You do.
Block it out.
You got to scratch out that.
Make time.
One of the things that, and we're going to make sure we jump on this. You got to have a date night.
Yes.
You do. You got to have a date night. You got to have a date night. And let me just help the brothers out because this is something we can all work on as brothers.